Hi, Eshwar. Thank you so much for joining us on BlitzBusiness. It's a pleasure to have you.
Hey, hi Ashish. Very happy to be here.
Awesome. Let's get started. Before we deep dive into business and all that good stuff, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I've been an entrepreneur all the time, right from graduating from college to now. This is my second company. Been automating kitchens for a long time. Um, the way I sort of introduce myself is, it's very. I tell people that hey, it's very hard for you to eat outside or order in without my machines cooking it. If you're ordering a biryani or a burger or a sandwich, a dosa, dhokla, or whatever in any part of the country, be it from a national, global, international brand, it probably was cooked in our machine that we built. So that's how I like to introduce myself.
Wow. Wow. You are the man. So what led you first of all enter into this space? You said in kitchen automation is your thing. So what was that moment or you were like इस space में कुछ करना है इसमें कुछ करना है, but what led you to enter into the space?
Seriously, back in 2014, when I was sort of getting graduated of college, I wanted to become an entrepreneur. And I said ki yaar, I saw McDonald's, Burger King, Domino's doing large format QSRs scaling very well, but I saw there was nobody doing anything for the Indian food. There was no McD equivalent of a dosa outlet, right? So I said, let's build Indian QSR and sell dosas and sort of become rich very fast. That was the sort of motive where I opened my first business called Mukunda Foods as a QSR brand in Chennai. So the idea was you could come and buy a dosa in like 1 minute and walk out. So we opened the outlet. The outlet was really good, bright lights, large screens, nicely dressed staff. But Ashish, we were not able to open our second and third outlet because uh, our consistency and quality of food when we scaled went down. लोग आके बोलते थे यार ईशा मजा नहीं आ रहा है तो तुम्हारा फर्स्ट वाला आउटलेट का टेस्ट जो है वो सेकंड आउटलेट वी आर नॉट एबल टू गेट इट मॉर्निंग एंड इवनिंग देयर वाज अ डिफरेंस लोग we were not getting good NPS for the product for our business. That's when I felt the biggest challenge that was in front of us was making consistent food at scale in our own outlets. तब जाके मैं बोला यार let's do something. We built a product called DosaMatic, which is an automatic dosa making machine. You press a button, the machine makes dosa automatic. It pours the batter, spreads
Everything.
it, adds ghee or oil, adds podi for you, then folds it and delivers on your plate. Uh, so that I don't have to rely on people coming in and making dosas in the outlet. Um, तो जब मशीन बनाया मैंने आई पुट इट इन द आउटलेट एंड बिकेम sort of viral, right? Like a lot of media press and everybody covered it. And then a lot of restaurant owners came to me and said, can you automate my dosas? Can you sell the machine? That's when I pivoted from a QSR to selling the DosaMatic, and DosaMatic led to other products. We made an automatic biryani machine, something for burgers, sandwiches, so on and so forth. So right from a Haldiram to Daryaganj to ITC to Wow Momo, Rebel Foods, Burger Singh, Good Flipping Burgers, or even legacy guys like Daryaganj or even samosas in Bombay to truffles and Rameshwaram Cafe in Bangalore. They use our technology to make food at scale in their restaurants. So yeah, that's how I started the whole kitchen automation thing, which was B2B. And now in my new avatar, I'm trying to make your home kitchen smarter, bring technology to Indian homes right at your kitchen so that you can love cooking at your kitchen.
There is this concept in business wherein you are self-sabotaging your own. You're like लोगों को enable कर दोगे आप in kitchen. Who will buy?
I think people love to cook. People want to still eat at home. We are like maybe few decades away. Somebody like Singapore, where घर पे kitchen ही नहीं होता उनका, or Hong
Yes.
Kong, or other countries. But India, the kitchen is the soul of the house, right? मतलब, have you ever been to someone's home जहाँ पे kitchen is hardly there, right? So that's when we felt कि यार घर का kitchen we should do something. eating out is a different experience. Like you still want to eat out 1-2 times a week, 3 times a week, but घर पे खाना बनाना, घर पे cooking is never going to stop. And with Beyond Appliances, we are trying to reimagine kitchens, make kitchens better again.
But why is this the thing in India? I recently saw this post. I think someone posted on social media wherein eating out in is a way ahead market, number of restaurants, etc. But India still dominates in terms of cooking and everything else. So what is the fundamental reason? I mean, one you mentioned in terms of we like to cook, but people like me have forgotten or even don't know how to cook anything. So how it is?
See, you look at this way, right? You have like weekly 20 odd meals, right? 3 times a week, 7 days. So about 10-15%, about 20% या फिर worst case 25% तक eat out चल रहा है आज के डेट पे in say very high density areas like Bangalore, Gurgaon, Mumbai to an extent. More than 20%, 25% eating out is not there. People want to eat in because India is still about a family culture. You stay with your family, not might be extended family, but nuclear families you stay. So India में ना, while you might not know how to cook, or even maybe my wife or people might not know how to cook, but you have availability of helps, availability of systems and processes that can help you cook. But that is the top 1% of the story, right? If you look at the bulk of the India, the belly of the India, right, where we look at the middle class and the upper middle class, they still have people cooking at home. Eating out is a very, very tiny fraction. It might be less than 10% a month, right? It's not a very, very big thing to go out and eat every day. It's maybe weekly once, right? So that's where cooking is a very, very big part of the whole Indian culture and things. Yes, there is a segment of India that eats out regularly, maybe you and me, maybe some of the folks, but it's not a very widespread thing that people are eating more than 15-20% of their meals outside. That's the reason why I think US market is 75 times that of India when it comes to eating out. So of course that is a market that's growing, but eating in is going to stay.
I mean, US ka you mentioned, so there was this like the entire selling burgers itself is a multi-billion dollar industry. Like
Right.
it was like some 20, 30 billion, maybe 50. I forgot the number. It's a massive, like just selling burgers.
Yeah,
Imagine.
yeah, yeah. Just think about this. Just McD has 18,000 outlets. Burger King has about 15-16,000 outlets in US,
Oh,
right?
wow.
And they are like maybe 1/4 of our population. And India, McD has under 1,000 outlets.
Oh,
And
really?
Yeah, Burger King has under 1,000 outlets in India. The next maybe largest chain, maybe Burger Singh, maybe was like 150 outlets, or maybe a good flipping burger 100 outlets. मतलब पूरा burger का इंडिया में आप total भी कर लोगे, the total number of outlets is less than 3-4 thousand, right? The overall burger chains in India to a population that is so big, right? So I think uh, while eating out market is growing, will continue to grow, uh, but there's huge amount of leg room for eating out to grow, which I totally agree. But eating in, I think that's where I think there's a lot of space.
And I think Ishu, there is this one angle also. I was reading a report, and my words are now converting into eating. We're talking food.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I was reading a report by I think Bloom Ventures recently, which is a VC fund based in Bangalore. And they mentioned about one of the reasons many D2C brands are not able to scale or grow is I think the discretionary income or like people don't have money to spend, and they gave some numbers like 100 million people don't have, and that is one of the reasons even though we have that sort of population available with us, but I think that is a bigger fundamental
So absolutely true. If you even look at a burger, McDonald's, the most sold burger for them is the McAloo Tikki, which is I think $25.
वो
And even
अब 25
Domino's,
का थोड़ी रहा है वो नहीं, अब तो बढ़ गया क्या?
35 ऐसे कुछ है, 20 25 35 something like that. And the Domino's most sold is a singles, right, which is like the 59 or 69 rupees ka pizza, right? That is their bulk of the revenue. And even in the past business at Mukunda Foods, when I was sort of uh, speaking to all the F&B owners, I think the major thing that came out was the AOV is not increasing. When I say average order value, right, is still at a particular level. People are not going and eating um, a smash burger in Hodes, which is sort of expensive, right? 250-300 रुपया का burger है, and people still want to buy a burger, but that is definitely less than 100 rupees, right? And that's the bulk of the market. So yes, there is a niche, there is a set of customers, maybe Indiranagar or Bandra or some of these places, but those pockets are very small. Those pockets are not going to make you a 1,000 burger outlet chain anytime soon.
True, true, true. So then, what is the solution for this as a industry? There may be. I mean, that's a very tough question to ask. Also, I mean, fundamentally, how do we make sure? Like, I think that's a very.
I think some of the brands have really cracked it well, Ashish. I think the idea is maybe then don't sell a burger, maybe sell a samosa, or maybe sell a dosa, or sell something where Indians don't mind indulging and keep the price points, I think, attractive. Uh, when I say attractive, I think there is a brand called Taza Tindi in Bangalore. I don't know if you have heard it. Uh, and this guy has maybe 5-6 outlets in Bangalore. He sells the dosas and idlis and vadas in a QSR format. मेरा जो original idea था, right? मतलब of course, it's a good thing that has happened. They sell, and any time of the day it does maybe 20 times what a Domino's outlet would do. An average Domino's outlet would do 85,000 rupee revenue a day. That's their number. That it's a listed entity, so 85,000 is their average revenue. This guy does around 15-20 lakh rupees a day, right? And because he sells dosas, idlis, vadas, right? And that's where people want to eat. You don't want to every day morning wake up and eat burger. You don't want to eat a pizza. It's a indulgence. Maybe once in a week you're okay. And next week when you eat, you want to eat at a different brand, not at the same brand, because yeah, last week you know Domino's khaya tha, yeah, ye khaya tha. So next week you want to eat a burger and not a pizza, right? But when you look at Indian food, you are okay in eating that every day, and going back to the same outlet because you get relatability in taste. अरे वहाँ डोसा अच्छा है तो मैं वहाँ every week I don't mind eating it because I love that food. I think if you are able to build a brand around daily Indian food and make it a little more interesting, and keep the pricing attractive, not cheap, not expensive, but attractive is I think the game. And if you're able to hit it there, I think there is a pretty large market business that can be made. You can't copy a McD, Domino's, or a Burger King idea in India. You will have to build an Indian idea in India, and I think a lot of Indian entrepreneurs are doing it.
That's a great insight. It has to be pocket friendly, and that's why you can attract masses. And so then one thing comes to my mind, Ishwar, talking about let's touch upon a little bit upon your business and kitchen appliance space for restaurant. So what is the most difficult thing to automate from burgers, biryani to like what was the most challenging item or machinery or maybe something you were like, ये तो बन ही नहीं सकता है. I mean, this is just way beyond.
I think we have been able to automate almost anything and everything today, right? Uh, Burgers, biryani, sandwich, dhokla, idlis, pizzas, fried rice, noodles, Asian starters, Indian starters, dal makhnis, gravies, tandoor food. So वो सब we have been able to do it. Um, I think where we really uh, where we really changed the game was, people said कि यार आप कैसे करोगे, मतलब many people tried it, they couldn't do it. How could you do it? I said, yeah, look, there was no serious effort behind automating Indian food or make automating an Indian pizza outlet, right? Not a global pizza outlet. I think because if you want to do it, you can't by default all this equipment automation was European territory. Germans and Italians were the guys who knew how to do it. So it's the reason they did coffee machines really well, the Americanos, the cappuccinos, all that stuff. But agar aapko samosa automate karna hai, right? You can't expect an Italian to do it. Uh, so we partnered with brands, like somebody like Haldiram, somebody like Samosa Party, right? Jinko samosa banana aata hai, right? Haldiram's has been doing samosas for like generations, right? And when they wanted to automate samosas, they of course tried with global brands, but when they worked with us, within 1 month, 2 months, we got a solution out for them. Today, there is no Haldiram outlet without our machine, right? All samosas you eat in every Haldiram outlet in Delhi, NCR, or all that region is from a machine that we built. Uh, so I think it was getting mechanics, electronics, and culinary sciences into one room and creating a vision कि यार ये करना है हमको at a price point that is again attractive, right? You can't build up samosa machine for like $500,000 and say कि यार ले लो samosa आपका. My automation for samosa starts at 40,000 rupees, right?
Forty
That's
thousand
a
rupees.
yeah, and that works, and that's what I think. You don't need a halwai to fry my samosas. uh, I know, Ashish, you don't know how to fry samosas, but I give you my machine, you press a button, you can make a samosa at
Really?
40,000
40,000
rupees
rupees per month or per year? What are you?
per machine. You buy it, that's it, and it's done.
That's it.
That's it. It's a
Forty
sale.
thousand rupees.
40,000 rupees. Yeah, my dosa machine is about a 1.5 lakh rupee product. uh, you get a dosa master at 35,000 rupees, a chef जो आके dosa बनाता है, and you need two guys, one for morning, one for evening, or maybe for backup, somebody, because you can't expect a person to work 7 days a week. So 70,000, चलो 50,000 ही पकड़ लो आप monthly pay कर रहे हो, but with a DosaMatic you get paid back in 3 months. Like 3 months you don't. And best thing is when people buy my DosaMatic, they currently buy it right now in good numbers, is they don't hire extra person. The cashier is the guy who is operating the machine. Recently, Anand Mahindra tweeted कि यार he saw a DosaMatic, an automatic dosa machine in Patna College Road making automatic dosas and students lining up to eat it, right? So that's, I think, magic, right? Like how an Indian technology, hardware technology mila ke designed the IP, manufactured ourselves at scale, and took care of customers, offer sales service at scale, and maybe 25-30,000 restaurants in India we automated. I think that's a good number.
So it's like आप कैशियर पे गए आपने कहा भैया एक डोसा उसने पैसे लिए बटन दबाया लो जी डोसा
Correct. That's how they get coffee, right? मतलब आप जब कोई भी coffee outlet पे जाते हो, that's what happens. And my whole thought was, why can't that happen for a dosa or something else?
I
Today,
I really have to see next time whenever I'm visiting Haldiram. I'm like samosa दिखाओगे
right, right.
That's amazing, but that's pretty amazing. So, and then in terms of which is the item in these aspect which is still missing, or everything has been automated so far? Like
So,
jalebi, I can imagine little difficult.
हाँ, जलेबी हमने ऑटोमेट नहीं किया है, because nobody came to us to automate jalebis, right? Maybe somebody comes and we would do it. uh, I think the way we at Mukunda Foods, the way we thought about it is 6-7 machine बनाता है that can cook 80% of the food that you need, right? And we were very cautious of the fact कि don't remove the person from the equation. I think where a lot of global food automation companies went wrong in automating food was they removed the guy, right? So we said, don't remove the person, make the person important, where he doesn't need his skill to run the machine, right? कि आपको डोसामैटिक में बैटर खुद भरना है, ऑयल वाटर आपको कंटेनर्स में भरना है, right? And then you press a button, the machine makes dosas. Now what global companies wanted to do is bring a robotic arm, that the robotic arm is only going to press the button, it's going to go to the refrigerator, get the batter, put it into the container in the machine. You don't need that, because in India you get a person, but the person is not skilled, right? And maybe that person doesn't want to do dosas. Yeah, let's think about it. Who aspires to become a dosa master, frankly, right? People want to become a software engineer, a tech guy, or maybe a business guy, right? They don't aspire कि यार मैं ना डोसा बनाऊंगा. But when I say कि आप आउटलेट में काम करोगे, You don't have to make dosas. You press the cool buttons in the machine. You talk to customers. You have a nice conversation with the customer. That's what people like. People like to talk. They like to sell. They like to exchange money, or maybe take UPI payments and smile and laugh around, rather than slogging in front of a tawa which is so hot and all that stuff, right? So I think that's where I think the sexiness of the job goes away when you say कि यार तू सुबह से शाम तक यही काम.
एंड आई थिंक अभी तो सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर्स के भी वांदे हैं थोड़े से, कौन बनना चाह रहा है वो भी ऑटोमेशन नहीं आ रहा है चैट जीपीटी के
हाँ,
चक्कर में
right, absolutely.
So then, Ishwar, what made you guys switch or add or tap into this adjacency of home kitchen appliance? Like, what was the
Yeah,
move?
yeah, very interesting, I think. So many people always came and say, यार तू ना ईश्वर ये सब कर रहा है, घर के लिए कुछ बना दे, घर के लिए कुछ बना दे, right? Like, matlab, this dosa which I eat at a Sarvana Bhavan today is from your machine. Can you make a machine for home? I'm using dosa as an example, but
Right?
it sort of radiates to everything else. And I didn't do it for a long time, right? Yeah, because I wanted to build the B2B business to some scale. We are like 10 crores a quarter kind of a business, profitable, large team, maybe working with 1,000 plus brands. Wanted to get the business to some stage and then look at doing something in the consumer space, because we believed. अच्छा मुझे और एक था कि as I said, right, मुझे maybe a 10,000 crore business बनाना है, and doing B2B will not give you that scale, right? Consumer is where I think the large market is, right? And a B2B business would never do that kind of scale, and also wanted to do the whole consumer bit. And that sort of, and B2B was also stable, matlab, as I said, right, thousands of brands working with us, and I think automated everything and anything. So that also gave me freedom to say that I have achieved what I set to start achieving, right? Now I think is the next phase for me to go and try and do something else, because I think consumer karna hai bol ke, I think almost every day somebody used to tell me ki when, why, when, and that's when that switch happened.
So, in terms of what all have you launched in this space now?
Right. So I think again, one thing that as a business, right, everybody should do, and which I also learned the hard way, is don't do what you want to do. Do what the consumer wants or needs. Maybe he or she is not upfront telling you what they want, but it's your duty as an entrepreneur to go and find out ki what the consumer wants. So one thing I said ki it was very tempting for me to make a ghar ka dosa machine. Just imagine, right? I have the technology. Those machines are deployed in bulk. All I need to do is a small cube one and sell it. But I said ki let's put breaks to it. Let me go and talk to consumers, right? Let me go to people's home and try to figure out ki yaar kya opportunity aaj ke date pe. So I personally went to about 200 odd homes, kitchens, right, in all places, metros, non-metros, and try to see what's happening and what's the big opportunity there. What are people? I never told them कि आपको dosa machine चाहिए, because you might say this, हाँ मुझे तो चाहिए dosa machine, but they might not really need it. I think when I saw all the kitchens and I saw the whole industry, I had kind of an eureka moment, right? Then I said, कि यार, I think definitely a biryani machine तो बेच सकते हैं, but a bigger opportunity today, Ashish, is existing kitchen appliances. Your stove, your chimneys, your mixer grinders are really not touched for a very, very long time. Take a break and think about it. How was your home TV 20 years back? Was it a maybe a CRT TV,
Yeah.
cable आता था,
Yeah.
right? And कभी कभी ऐसे मतलब you had to slap it to make it work. And today maybe you have an LCD TV, smart. You use Google or an Alexa to tell it what to play. OTTs. Similarly, every field, technology has hit appliances. How was your phone and how is your phone now? There was a ambassador and there's a Tesla or a Mahindra 6 EV, whatever we call it today. So, but kitchen, just think 20 years back kitchen and today the kitchen is the same. आपका स्टव वही है, आपका मिक्सी वही है. Maybe a refrigerator went from 2 door to 3 door back to 4 door, or मतलब whatever, right? It's the shape and form is still the same, or technology is the same. I said, yeah, that can't be it. More can be done, right? And existing brands today who are selling into kitchen are sadly not innovating, right? Or I would say global brands are also not innovating for India. They may be innovating for other countries. And that's when I felt here there is so much technology that we have, and we understand Indian consumer so well. Let's do something about it. That was the whole premise. I also did not know what to do, but मुझे पता था कि यार, if technology could have touched so much, we definitely can do something in the kitchen, in the existing appliances to start with. I felt DosaMatic is maybe 5 years away or 10 years away. वो हो जाएगा, मतलब it will work, but I think the bigger opportunity was here. And I said कि what can be done about it, right? तो मैं एक आपको एग्जांपल देता हूँ. आपके घर पे भी हो रहा होगा, and everybody's home it happens. Um, you in India we use pressure cookers to cook food, right? And इतना सीटी के बाद आपको बंद करना रहता है, and all the time we forget कि कितना सीटी बजा, right? I feel कि 3 सीटी हुआ, 4 सीटी हुआ, right? And then you will forget to turn it off, all that stuff. So I said, why can't there be a whistle counter, right? Can the stove listen for a whistle and turn it off automatically? It is possible, right? All it is you need to build some technology to hear for the whistle and then turn it off. We built it. We said, let's make a stove, right, where you have a whistle counter. The stove will listen for your whistles. Just chole ke liye it may be 5. You said 5. After 5 whistles, the stove will turn it off. You don't have to go there, right? घर पे ना मेरे ख्याल से आई हैव सीन सो मेनी लड़ाई बिकॉज ऑफ दिस, लाइक इन द होम्स आई विजिटेड. अरे मैं बोला था बंद करने के लिए, अरे नहीं मैं भूल गया, 3 हुआ 4 हुआ, अरे नहीं पता, अरे छोटू बता 3 हुआ कि 4 हुआ. ऑल दैट स्टफ यूज्ड टू हैपन, एंड इट वाज एवरीबॉडीज होम, एंड यू वुड एग्री, आपके घर में भी कभी ना कभी होता होगा ये, राइट? सिमिलरली मिल्क ओवर बॉइलिंग इज अ बिग इश्यू कि दूध फैल जाता है. एंड or maybe you're cooking, say, idlis or steaming dhoklas, you need to turn off after some time. Today what you do is you look at your clock for, say, okay, 20 minutes, then, or you take your phone and say, hey, remind me in 20 minutes, and you leave your kitchen, and every 10 minutes or 2 minutes you're looking at the clock ki time hua ki nahi hua ki nahi, and then you come and turn off. You're not actually leaving the kitchen, right? You still are half in the kitchen. You still cannot do the full work. And I saw that firsthand, right? Everybody who was cooking had this challenge. So we gave a timer in my stove. In a microwave, you don't do that. You just set 2 minutes, go away. After 2 minutes, it's off. When was the last time you checked ki microwave hua ki nahi hua? You don't do that. So we said, let's give a timer. We put a timer in the stove. You set X minutes. After X minutes, the stove automatically turns off. You don't have to do anything. Then we gave something called a flame failure device. It's a safety first feature. Unfortunately, in India, major of the fire accidents that happen in homes are because of gas leakage. And a car has maybe 30-40 safety features, right, from your airbags to lane departures and everything. But in your home, your stove doesn't have anything, and that's like a very dangerous thing. So we give something called flame failure device. What it does is, if there is something, for some reason your flame turned off, right, maybe milk overboiled or water fell or there was a lot of air, the gas automatically cuts off. So no flame, no gas. Maybe when you're cleaning the stove, you turn, many times it happens कि साफ करते करते आपने घुमा दिया, and after some time everybody's smelling LPG leakage. So this would not happen. If the knob is on but there's no flame, it turns off the gas. And this is a standard feature that comes across our product. I think that's the reason why we said, okay, let's make existing appliance smarter, right? We started with the stove, we did chimney, a very, very interesting and our high selling product is a chimney. But I'm telling you about the stove because so that the thesis of why we started ka jo aap question tha, that sort of answers it.
But isn't it, Ishwar, these sort of things are applicable in a B2B setting also? These are some similar problems which, I mean,
The B2B में already है ये काफी सारी चीजें, right?
oh, they
Like
are already there.
they're already there. It was adapting them to my consumer products.
Understood. And then in terms of, so I understood the thesis. So basically, your premise is like identify such problem statements and try to incorporate technology and then roll this thing out. In terms of pricing, how does it compare to, for example, a traditional no frills stuff versus yours?
And this is what I like. Uh, I was at a store, and this was during doing research. There was a couple who came to buy a stove. Okay, उन्होंने prestige का stove खरीदा,
Mm.
which was around 6,500 rupees. After the whole purchase, everything, the store guy quoted 9,000 rupees, and this guy's typical Indian style haggled a lot, got it at 6,500, right? After that, I heard the husband tell the lady, ये बंदा ना 7.5 बोलता भी मैं ले लेता, इन्हें 6.5 में दे दिया. It was like if he had asked 7.5, I would have paid, but 6,500 I gave. Then I thought to myself, it's not that he doesn't have the 1,000 rupee or 2,000 rupee more. It's just he did not see the value in spending that 2,000 rupee more. So I adapted the same thing in our products. We said it will be 20% more than a standard product. Like if you buy a prestige stove for 6,000-7,000, my stove costs 9,500 rupees, 2,000-3,000 rupees more, but has so many features. If you look at automobile also, Ashish, that sort of holds true. In India, we all say India is a low cost market. If it's a low cost market, the most sold car should be an Alto 800, but the most sold car is a Baleno, which is an Nexa product, and then maybe a Thar, right, which is again not a cheap machine car. Then a Creta, or then the Venue, right? Maybe fifth or sixth is the Alto. That's the most sold, and this is November data. It might change month on month. मतलब November December का data है. So if you are able to, an Indian customer doesn't want cheap. He wants bang for his buck. He wants value. He wants to see, he or she wants to see कि यार जितना मैं दे रहा हूँ ना उससे ज़्यादा मुझे benefit मिले. So in our products, we are doing something similar. We are saying, hey, you buy the product for 9,000 rupees, but you get a flame failure device, you get a timer, you get brass, you get so many more features which you're not getting at a 8,000 rupee product. For 1,000 rupees, you get so much. So a consumer is saying, अरे 1,000 rupees के लिए इतना कुछ मिल रहा है मुझे. It's not that he or she doesn't have the 1,000 rupee more to spend or 2,000 more to spend, and that's been our product pricing. And because we manufacture everything right here in HSR Bangalore, we are able to also make it at a price that we can sort of sell it at huge volumes.
But then this sort of brings me, Ishwar, isn't it like brands like Prestige, who has such massive dealer distributor network and technology, they will also be making moves, right? Or what is stopping them?
Okay, I'll ask you a very simple question, and I know this firsthand. That's why I'm asking this. Uh, at Beyond, we have about 40 R&D engineers. Like for a company which is not just started, right? 3-4 months, we have about 40 R&D engineers. Take a wild guess, how many R&D engineers are there in Prestige? Prestige is a 2,000 crore listed entity.
10.
One.
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 No way.
There's just one R&D guy. Everything else is outsourced. They're a trader basically. They go to various markets, including China, pick up stuff, rebrand it, and sell it. Now, and that's sort of true for a lot of other companies, which I don't want to name because of various reasons. So, yeah, I think very few consumer appliance companies have something called as a real R&D team. They might have somebody who is copying stuff, might have, that's the best case scenario, right? Some of the companies ki yaar ye copy karke hum bana lete hain. But you don't have people who are like, hey, can I solutionize problems? Can I understand the consumer, create technology, apply IP, get patents, and sell products? That's retail rarity. That happens with Korean companies, happens with other companies, but unfortunately we can't wait for them to come and build for you. Yaar, matlab, you do for yourself. When I say yourself, India,
Yeah. No, that is very true.
I think Atomberg did a very good job there, and look at what they have done, 1,000 crore business plus.
No, I think that's a very good point. Many brands are just white labeling Chinese and selling in multiple consumer appliance spaces. Yeah, that's true. That's true. So then, Ishwar, what is one question which we keep getting? So this is for our listeners and founders. So what is some opportunities in this space for someone looking to start?
You saying appliances or food or which?
Wherever. I mean, where the so typical the question we get is people have less capital, they want to start something. So for this segment, this space, food, appliance, whatever fits sort of these two criteria, what is something someone can do?
See, I think again, the best way to get a solution is to speak to your consumers, right? Say you want to, I think, right from air conditioning to microwaves to mixer grinders to even toasters to everything, there is an opportunity today, because none of these products are being like um, changed for a while, right? And the way to go about it is, rather than say that, hey, this is the machine I want to do, better go and speak to consumers and see what they do. I'll give an example. What we did, chimneys, right? Chimneys are very, very standard Indian product. uh, and this is what we did with our chimneys. When we were trying to say कि chimney में क्या करना है, the big opportunity for us was, जब भी घर में जाते थे आशीष, I think what we saw was middle class India में 90% time women take up cooking, right? I'm not against men cooking. In fact, I love cooking, but women cook. उनको लगता था कि मेरा जिंदगी झंड हो रहा है, आई एम नॉट एबल टू ग्रो इन माई लाइफ बिकॉज आई एम कुकिंग. My family is watching Netflix, they're enjoying, they're playing with the kids, they're going to a movie or like going out into the park and playing, but I have to sort of uh, cook. तो उनको दिमाग में वो बार बार at a very emotional level. They never said it, but we could see it, and I'm sure many people can see it. So we said, यार कुछ करना पड़ेगा इसके लिए. So today what women did when cooking was kept a phone, saw some videos, played some music, या अपने दोस्तों के साथ हमेशा बात करते थे कि व्हाट्सएप कॉल कर रहा था दोस्तों के साथ, सहेली के साथ. They were always speaking, and it was sort of a broken experience. So in our chimney, what we did, we gave an infotainment entertainment system built in. It comes with a large screen, cinematographic speakers, surround sound in the kitchen, and it changed their life. Initially, I thought कि नहीं use करेंगे, but when we started selling, they started flying like hotcakes.
Really?
Morning, they used to listen to bhajans. Afternoon or during the day, they used to see reels on that. They used to listen to podcasts. I'm sure आपका भी podcast उसमें चल रहा होगा, because podcast listening is a very big thing in India today. And today they were listening on their phone, जो ठीक से सुनाई भी नहीं देता था उनको, but still they were listening. But after this, of course, we worked on the speakers so that podcast can be heard well and all that stuff. So उस हिसाब से I think it came out well. Then what we also did was we gave some really high quality video system, so
Okay.
you could see a lot of stuff. And when we installed it, we just give YouTube and a couple of apps, right? And then I started speaking कि ये ठीक है, आपको और कुछ चाहिए, right? And the ladies would say कि मुझे ना Z5 चाहिए, सोनी लिव चाहिए. मतलब क्यों? मुझे सास बहू सीरियल देखने हैं, मुझे सीरियल देखने हैं शाम में, because that's the time the serial comes and I have to also cook, and I hate not cooking and also hate missing my serial. But with this, I can do a lot of stuff, right? I think because we took an effort to go and see and understand what a real consumer problem is, and that helped us create an infotainment entertainment system built in. Now a lot more happens. Your chimney tells when your LPG is going to go out of मतलब जब खत्म हो गए, it automatically orders your LPG. We are given a chef connect, so a chef teaches you how to cook virtually, right? So you can cook maybe new foods every now and then. You can people use apps to do a lot of stuff. I think I can go on and on, but I think um, it's really working out well.
Wow. This sort of reminded me, there was this one startup which was, I don't know where it is right now, not Indian, I think American, I don't remember, but the value proposition was आपका फ्रिज है, आप फ्रिज में आइटम रख रहे हो, so it will calculate and see कौन सा आइटम कम हो रहा है and reorder directly with the. इसमें कुछ merit है, or is it something just a fluff? I don't know.
So it is very useful. In fact, in our chimney also we see that behavior in a different way. What we see, Ashish, is we people have asked for quick commerce apps on our chimney now. So we have Blinkit and Zepto. So जब बाइक घर में बनाती है ना खाना, so she normally asks मुझे ये चाहिए, वो चाहिए and all that stuff. So what they tell her कि तुमको जो भी चाहिए ऐप में डाल दो, we will check it out, right? So I think where Samsung did this product which you're saying. It's a fridge where it checks and does all that stuff. It's like, I think, 5.5 lakh rupee kind of a product, very very expensive. uh, yeah, but we are also working on a feature in our chimney where it has a camera on the bottom. It sees what you're cooking, and sort of tells you ki, yaar, maybe this is what you might want to buy. Maybe then later we can tie up with Blinkit or Zepto and add it on your cart also automatically.
And you can add
And the
these
chimney is 17,000 rupees. You don't have to spend 5 lakhs. So
yeah
17,000 में आपका सब कुछ हो
the person is cooking and realizes, or maybe you can also tell बहुत नमक काफी हो गया अब health conscious
जाएगा.
it's just
Right,
enough.
right. Enough. I'll turn off the stove now. I'll know you can't cook today.
Now you cannot cook.
You
Please
can't cook. No
change.
more oil.
No more oil. That's
Or
awesome.
maybe pay 50 rupees and I'll turn it on for you.
Yeah.
Guilt-free eating. I can increase my revenue line from that.
Premium subscription.
Yeah.
Extra unhealthy के लिए आपको. This is like BMW's heated seats where they are
It
charging a
is. The feature
subscription.
is there, but you have to pay for it.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
most ridiculous thing I've seen.
Yeah.
But all depends on the ingenuity of the person. So then moving on. So that's awesome. I mean, that's a very interesting space. Never looked at in this fashion, Ishwar. Super exciting in the way you describe. So what is your now milestones? What are targets, milestone you are planning to achieve? And part of the question is, how are you financing all this through current funding or how's it?
Sure. So we launched this in October is when I think we started this Beyond Appliances. November was our first launch. Jan we sold close to 1,000 plus 1,500, 1,200 kind of units. We are already top 5 players on Amazon on chimneys and hobs category. So I think consumer loves it, right? Yeah, matlab, we were also not sure कि नया brand है खरीदेंगे नहीं खरीदेंगे, what does customer think. But today's customer is dying for new age features. They want features, they want technology to help them do stuff in a way that is relatable. They don't want to the stove to do the entire cooking. They want to do the cooking, but you're doing. I think that's where they're really enjoying. We did a round from recently. We did a seed round from Fireside Ventures. It was a $2 million round. So yeah, I think we are good. Yeah, I think at least for the next few quarters, where we maybe become the top 3 players in this space online, we are good for this right now. Yeah,
That's awesome.
we should be able to do good stuff.
Kanwar has a habit of picking winners. He has been to on the podcast. Yeah, we did a series on all the venture capital funds, so he was there. So yeah, awesome,
Yeah.
awesome
Hope
guy.
we become a winner, but yeah, I think we hope we keep his winning streak on.
Yeah. No, he understands the space really well. That's what I could understand. Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. Great guy. Great VC firm to have backing you. Then to wrap it up, Ishwar, anything? One of my favorite questions. Anything you would have done differently looking back now? एक आपको मैं access दे दो कि भाई you can go back and you can be like अब इसको I can change. What will that thing be?
Okay. I think one thing I would change, at least for the first 5-6 years of the business, I didn't speak. I thought I was speaking to my consumers or customers, but I never really heard from them. Right? Like when we were doing the DosaMatic, we also made a biryani machine. I'll tell you a small example. We made a biryani machine which was like really super automatic. It would automatically wash the rice, it would layer the biryani, do a whole lot of bunch of things automatically. Because customer always, I thought the customer said here मुझे fully automatic biryani machine चाहिए. We removed the person from the whole process, But what the customer is actually saying, I want these 2-3 things of biryani to be automated, not the entire biryani machine. Then we made a machine that made things semi-automatic, and that just flew off the shelf. So I had put a camera, I had put a heat sensor, I had put a robotic arm to do. There was a layering system, there was a dumb mode. It was like state of the art. If you see it, you would be like, "Kya technology hai?" Matlab, we used all the jargons you could think of back then. AI, ML, matlab, camera, technology, सब डाल दिया कि यार बिरयानी biryani mein badhiya ban gaya, but nobody used to buy it. I was like, shit, what's wrong? But then I understood, yeah, the solution is not to make it the way you want to make it. The solution is to hear what the customer wants. And I'll tell you what the customer actually wanted, right? And you would laugh out. The customer just wanted me to wash the biryani, just wash the rice, right? And half cook the rice. That's what he wanted. Because biryani, the most important thing is the rice, apparently. And if you get the rice even 5% wrong, your biryani goes for a toss. But if you get it right, you are the top brand. So I always said कि सिर्फ चावल धो के कुक करना क्या ही है उसमें, मतलब इसमें सब टेक्नोलॉजी है ही नहीं. इट वॉज अ 70,000 रुपी मशीन, मतलब क्या है उसमें, क्यों बनाना है, नेवर मेड. But then, because this was not sold and I spent a lot of money on it, then when we made this machine, it just sold. We were selling like 1 crore of these machines quarterly, right? And that's when I realized, yeah, really listen to customer. Don't do what you want to do, right? And I think that one is what I would do, and maybe save a bunch of my time, money, and resources.
Not make fully automated, make semi-automated and be happy. Less effort,
Exactly.
more ROI.
Yes, exactly. We overcomplicate things most of the time as entrepreneurs.
That is human tendency,
Yeah.
I think. इसमें तो
Yeah.
wonderful, wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Eshwar, for your time. It was such a refreshing view on many aspects, which I will now never look the kitchen at the same way.
Yeah.
It will always be like, ये missing है, यहाँ automation. ईश्वर को मैसेज करो भाई ये डलवाओ भाई.
Yeah, guys. Message me. Ask me for features. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Ashish. Pleasure speaking. Bye.